happy Thanksgiving to the world, to the universe, and especially to all of those you all who have been supporting, listening, following, liking, and sharing this show. How do you protect the idea of accelerating through the end of the year while having to compromise the opportunities by going to these events that are kind of mandatory? In the wintertime, in this fourth quarter, we're not really buying into that whole idea of slowing down towards the end of the year, relaxing, taking a break, going to parties, doing all these things. Your mind gets convinced when you talk about things you're planning to do. By talking to your mind, doesn't know the difference between reality and what goes on in your head. How do we conserve or preserve energy so that when we're hitting the start of 2026, we're actually accelerating? Despite being polite, cordial, respectful, all these things, that I want nothing to do with them. It actually creates intrigue, because if people are really interested in you, they're going to be like, let me keep an eye on this guy. Do not consider it rude to cut people off that are negative, that you feel are pulling away your energy, that you feel are just not in the same vibes as you. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the N2N podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. N2N, also known as Ninja, or the Prolific Ninja on my socials, and by my family and friends. And because my fans and my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the N2N podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. For now, almost 3.5 years long. Let's go. We're recording this on Wednesday, but by the time you hear this, it'll be Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to the world, to the universe, and especially to all of those you all who have been supporting, listening, following, liking, and sharing this show. And so with that, I start my episode as I start every day, especially today on Thanksgiving, which is I give thanks to God and the universe for another day. It'll be great. Hopefully inspire at least one person to live to their fullest controllable potential. Hopefully that's you. And that's all I need. That's all I want. Keeps me motivated, keeps my drive going, keeps me doing what I do, because my mission statement is just changing people's lives in everything I do. My business, my law firm, my investments, my tech businesses, all these things. It's just about changing lives. And hopefully through the 3.5-year journey thus far, a lot of lives have been changed, and I think so. And you're a great big part of that. So thank you all for following, liking, commenting, and sharing, especially sharing the show, the long form, the short form, talking to your friends about it, all of the above. But to do that, we do this on a karmic exchange. If you know me, I'm all about energy, frequency, manifesting, actually actualizing lives. And so with that, we do this show on a karmic exchange, because I do this with my own money, with my own time, whole crew here that's getting this content out to you. So the only way we grow the show is if you share the show. And so the way it works is I give you information for free. And if you receive it and use it, that means you owe me karmically, energetically. And I want you to repay that debt. And so there's two ways. One, share the show, which I like to say, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. Or alternatively, visit one of my businesses on the internet, Westloop Law, CuraConnector.com, LegacyXToken.com, 1925tequila.com, Naya.com, Nayyaa.com. These are deals that I'm invested in. Soon there will be more. So visit one of those. Share it with your friends. Share it with the community. And that's how we restore the karmic balance. So I don't want you leaving this planet owing me something, because I don't feel like I want to be owed anything when I go, whenever that is. So with that, let's get to the episode. It's Thanksgiving, the start of festivities, parties, gatherings, reunions, whatever it is, company outings. There's going to be a lot of time around a lot of people, okay? And so with that, obviously, we're being thankful, we're being grateful, we're being respectful to everybody that we meet along this holiday journey, right? Thanksgiving through Christmas, through New Year's, start of the new year. Now, if you've been listening to the show for the last 3.5 years, you know that in the wintertime, in this fourth quarter, we're not really buying into that whole idea of slowing down towards the end of the year, relaxing, taking a break, going to parties, doing all these things. We don't buy into slowing down towards the end of the year. We actually accelerate through the end of the year, right? But we know that we have to visit these parties, families coming over, friends coming over. It's all part of the holiday season, right? So how do you protect the idea of accelerating through the end of the year while having to compromise the opportunities by going to these events that are kind of mandatory. You're probably going to have to go to an office party, probably several of them. Your vendors or customers or suppliers, they're throwing parties. You're being invited, stretched very thin around a lot of people. So there's a lot of energy output through this holiday season. So how do we conserve or preserve energy so that when we're hitting the start of 2026, we're actually accelerating instead of recovering? Okay, big, huge difference in energy. Okay, so there are three things I want you to think about as you're going to these corporate events, company events, customer events, family events, friends events, being pulled 20 ways to Sunday around the holiday season, right? Number one, again, this is all about energy preservation, right? Energy preservation. Okay, number one, don't tell everybody your plans. Don't tell anybody your plans regarding the next year or what your growth plans are, what your success plans are. Number one, your mind gets convinced. When you talk about things you're planning to do, by talking to, your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and what goes on in your head, to be honest. It will still release the same neurotransmitters and chemicals as if what you plan to do has already been done. So the more you talk about what you want to do or going to do or planning to do, the more your mind actually thinks that it's already being done. And so you procrastinate more and you actually don't do it. So number one, don't talk about your plans for that reason. But secondly, don't talk about your plans, right? Specifically, okay? Because people will want to take away from you. Let me say that again. If you talk about your plans specifically, most people will want to pull that away from you. Okay, people that are not success or value or progress oriented or growth oriented, and most people are not. Okay, you can vaguely talk about your plans. So what I do, for example, hey, what you got in store for 2026? What are you going to do? Yeah, I'm working on a few things. Yeah, like what? Well, I can't tell you. Got to keep it close to my vest. It actually creates intrigue because if people are really interested in you, they're going to be like, let me keep an eye on this guy. But if you blah, 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 I'm going to create this, blah, blah, I'm going to build this, oh my God, it's going to do that. No. Number one, it removes the mystique away. So there's just another person yapping about what you become another person yapping about what you're going to do. And then it creates a measuring stick for next year, right? Half the year is over. You haven't done what you said. Hey, remember that party last year? You said you were going to do this. Well, what happened to that? Right? How many times has that happened to you? Probably a lot. It's happened to me back in the day when I wasn't doing the things I was supposed to be doing. So don't tell people your plans, man. Keep it close. You can tell people you're working on shit. Yeah, I'm going to be working on a few things. You'll see. But don't give them the details. Yeah, I got this website working, man. It's going to do this. It's going to go great. We're going to make $1 million, blah, blah. Forget all that. Fuck all that. Right? In fact, flip it around. Yeah, I'm working on a few things. I mean, I can't really talk about it. Actually, I don't want to talk about it. But what are you working on? Flip it and see how they respond. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to buy this, that. Yeah. Okay. That's good enough. It's good enough. So, number one, don't disclose your plans with specificity. Don't give away that energy. You got to keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself, your mind, your spirit, and the universe inside you. And then as you're doing these things, people will see. People will see. Okay. Number two, in the similar vein, because most of you or several of you will be stretched thin across multiple events, you have to protect your energy. Okay? So do not consider it rude to cut people off that are negative, that you feel are pulling away your energy, that you feel are just not in the same vibes as you. You got to be very, very tuned into what your vibes are, but do not feel obligated to entertain them. Cut them off quick because you got to preserve your energy to keep accelerating in this fourth quarter to hit the 2026 running. So, for example, for me, when sometimes I get into these conversations where people are just bitching, and I hate that shit. I don't like to be around people that are bitching and complaining. I'm a bring me solutions guy. Don't bring me problems. Don't bring me negativity guy. Because momentum is so hard to build. When I'm up, I hate to be pulled down with negative shit because it takes so much energy to build that momentum back up. So when I'm around negative people, and I will sense this real quick, Hey, man, how's your evening tonight? Ah, man, could be better. I had to do blah, blah. Okay. Hey, good to meet you. I need to go get a drink. Want something? And usually they'll say no because they'll get the vibe, right? Well, man, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Do you know where the restrooms are? Right? Just shut it off quick. If you spend an hour or two with these people just because, you're networking and this applies to family, friends, coworkers, your boss, like strangers, anybody you meet during these activities in the holiday season. You feel the negative vibe, you cut it off real quick and go somewhere else. I promise you'll be so much more happy for it. Right? Right? Hey, man, how's your evening going? Man, it's going great until I met this guy and we had this conversation. Okay, great, man. I'm sorry you had that, man. Do you know, how much is this drink? Whatever. Where's the restroom? Man, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for a friend. He said he's going to go meet me around the corner. And you just leave. Leave the conversation. Because you do not want to be around this negative energy. So number one, again, don't disclose your plans with specificity. Number two, shut down negative vibes real quick. Real quick. And then number three, again, this applies to everybody. Family, friends, parents, bosses, managers, directors, your employees, strangers, whoever, customers, client, it doesn't matter. Whoever it is, right? The third major thing, to preserve your energy and keep that energy for yourself so that you can build going into the start of the year. And that's what we're about. We're building into the start of the year, okay, is everybody you meet mentally, okay, whatever context you know them, obviously we're going to be respectful. Obviously we're going to be hospitable. Obviously we're going to be polite, cordial. It's the holiday season. Why be an asshole? In fact, we don't even deal with assholes, so don't be one. Okay? In your mind, if you have an engaged conversation, you have to think about subconsciously in the back of your, and I do this not only in the holidays, I do this all the time. How does this person fit in my growth trajectory? Okay? How does this work? In my mind, again, as I'm meeting and talking to everybody along the way, these parties, family out, whatever, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, how does this person fit? Or what role does this person play in my growth trajectory, in my plans? Because if they don't, or they pull energy away from my growth plans, I know, despite being polite, cordial, respectful, all these things, that I want nothing to do with them. Again, we're not here to make friends with everybody. We're here to grow ourselves and attract the people we want to us. So when people are negative in conversation in my mind, hey, does this person's values match with mine? Right? Does this person bring the right energy to me? You'll tell people, hey, man, the perfect example, how many times you're with your family and friends? You tell them what your big dream is, and they say, nah, man, you can't do that. Nah, man, that's a bad idea. Nah, man, that's a great idea, but you probably can't pull that off. Happened to all of us. So why are we hanging around them for the rest of the year? They could be my mom, my dad, and I get, hey, I'm going to go do this. And if they're not like, dude, I would love to help you achieve what you want. Yeah, they're my mom and dad. I'll come by, say hi, hey, take care of them, be respectful son, be the dutiful son, all these things, show them my love. But my day-to-day where I'm building and stressing and the pressure and all these things, I don't want them around me. And that's the way you should treat everybody that is not aligned to what you want to build and what you want to, what your dreams and goals are. Now, it may sound crass or it may sound harsh to treat people like this, but remember, we're about growth, right? You cannot manifest or be the biggest badass you can be for yourself if you got people around you, no matter how close related they are to you, pulling away from that. And in fact, by not being the biggest badass you can be, you're actually harming them, not just yourself. Because when you're the biggest badass you can be, that means you're doing everything for everyone else. Growth requires giving And if you're not allowed to give, right, it's a negative feedback loop. Right? Success requires giving. You're solving problems. You're adding value, right? And you can't do that if you're not selfish around your own energy. So all these people you meet and have conversations with, again, you could be nice, polite, cordial. It could be a random stranger. It might be a lawyer gala that I'm going to, okay, for attorneys. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You know, how was your year? Great. How's your year? Man, we did a bang out year. In fact, we are on a bang out year trajectory. Oh, man. You know, I wish you congratulations, but like, what about this one case where blah, 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 you didn't happen, you know? Man, fuck off. For real. For real. I don't need that. I'm not focused on it. Oh, man, great. Nice talking to you. I'll talk to you later, which I'll never talk to him later. Politely exit, but in your mind, you have to specifically file each person you meet in a business context, right? Each person you meet and a personal context in that file. Does this person have a role or can support my goals and dreams of success? And again, if they can't, doesn't mean you got to be an asshole to them, because we're not assholes. We're actually assholes when we need to be, okay? But not on purpose. Put them in the right slot. Because if they're not supportive, they don't carry the vibe, if they're not like, dude, whatever you want to do, I'm there for you. If it's not like that, you don't want to deal with them going forward. And it could be your mom, dad, your grandmother, grandfather, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your best friend from high school. Doesn't matter. You got to shut it down. You got to be nice, polite. Hey, man, I'll be in touch when I be in touch. It's not going to be a proactive thing where you're like, hey, yo, bro, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? Because they'll just constantly pull you down. Ah, man, good idea, but I wouldn't do it if I were you. Yeah, how many times you heard that? All right, so again, we're moving into the fourth quarter. We're in the thick of the thick of the thick, starting today, Thanksgiving, when you hear this. You're probably going to listen to this on your way to your families or your friends or some business function, gathering, whatever. Follow these three things. I promise you, you need to protect your energy, because the holidays can be very, very, very draining. Everybody's stressed out over time for no reason. Everybody needs to go buy gifts for no reason. Everybody's got to go do these things. And you will be energy drained. And if you're drained now, how are you going to start 2026? In recovery mode instead of growth mode. And what we're all about, if you've been listening for the last 3 years, is hitting the start of the year in sprinting growth mode. So to do that, we have to preserve our energy. So again, when you're going around to these holiday parties, number one, don't disclose all your plans. It pulls away from you. Keep those tight to your vest. Number two, shut people off that are negative real fast. Shut them down, shut them quick, move on to somebody else. Don't need the negative vibes around you. And then number three, every encounter, everybody you meet, you got to slot them into a spot. Do they help my growth and plans of success, or do they take away? So now we know in 2026 who we need to be associating with throughout the year, right? Those friends that are the negative nannies, you got to cut them off and move on. I guarantee you cut those people out, 2026 will be much better. And then you personally, by surrounding yourself with more people that are supportive of what you're wanting to do, they're all in on you. Your energy vibe will elevate, and you're going to get another circle of friends that are even more supportive of you. In fact, they might even want to partner with you to build more great shit because they see you building your shit. Energy attracts like energy. And that's what it's all about. So with that, happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's following, listening, sharing the show. I appreciate you all so much. It is all about gratitude. That's why I do the same thing at the end of every episode as I do when I go to sleep at night, which is before my eyes close, I thank God and the universe one more time for another day to hopefully have lived to my greatest controllable potential with all the gifts and talents that I've been given, and hopefully inspired at least one person. Hopefully that's you today, and how you might achieve your fullest controllable potential. With that, I want to thank you all for liking, commenting, following, and sharing the show, long form and short form content. Again, we do this on a karmic exchange, so don't owe me anything. I don't want to be owed anything from you. So with that, to restore the balance, please do share the show or visit any of the projects that I'm working on that I talked about to start the show. Be grateful today, but even more grateful. Happy Thanksgiving. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon as we close out the year on a high and we're sprinting in 2026. Talk to you soon.